So, guys, this is Nnamdi Kanu's wife, Mrs. Kanu. He has revealed shocking secrets about Nnamdi Kanu's continued incarceration, the Southeast leaders, and the BIAFRA struggle. Nigerian government as well. My people, this really shock you. A lot is really going on. A lot is really going on. Nigerians, you need to watch this because this is really shocking. So guys, thank you very much for this coming out here. If you are just joining us for the first time, I beg subscribe to this channel and don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Please share this video, make it go viral so that Nigerians could understand what they happen today in the Nigerian political landscape. Thank you and bye for now.
And would not stop insecurity. Is he confirming or is he affirming? Because it's being a thing of debate that whether to release Nnamdi would stop the insecurity or would it not. So he said because they will not listen to him. How does he know that they will not listen to him? That is number one. Number two, he also said that these people who are carrying out these unrest are hiding under Nnamdi Kanu. In fact, I need to mention this. One of our brothers, the older brother was taken and they demanded billions. And they said, oh, they're doing it for, no, it's Biafra. They're doing it for Biafra to come. Which is absolutely not true. So Governor Soludo said that they are hiding under the name of Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu also said it. People fapping about with his name and the rest of it. Now, if Nnamdi Kanu comes out, that will give you at least a leverage. Will it minimize it? Yes, it will minimize it. Will it stop it completely? No, because there are people who are orchestrating this, and these people are in higher places. So if they are...
Okay. No, there is a question I want to ask you. Very, very short one. Based on the Soludo statement and the issue of insecurity, we'll just have to... I want to ask you a question in that regard again. Does the Eastern governors feel threatened that the release of Nnamdi Kanu and his ability to curb the security situation, to put it under control, do you feel that they are threatened with his influence? Because we also have to look at that,
yes, absolutely.
That aspect.
Absolutely, that is not debatable. That is not debatable. That is what it is. You know, when Nnamdi Kanu says that Ndibo, I know for, and envy and jealousy. That is what is at play here. So the influence of Nnamdi Kanu, but keeping Nnamdi Kanu there is not going to diminish his influence. You are only making it wider. You are extending it internationally. I mean, it's becoming a thing that not just the Biafrans are aware of now or involved. In fact, Margaret, a 92-year-old woman, she was at the hospital and a lot of people were talking about Nnamdi Kanu, pure British people in the hospital discussing Nnamdi Kanu. So keeping him there, you are widening his influence. So keeping him there is not going to change anything. You think when you keep him there, and also keeping him there is making them, it's diminishing their own relevance because they're making a fool of themselves. They have, one of their brothers going through an injustice, and they are actually working for him not to find justice. They're actually working against him. For who? Because whoever you're working for would never like you more than your brother would like you. But to answer your question, yes, it's about his influence because there's never been a thing like this before. And they don't like it. But
okay, now, we also have a situation where the Eastern governors also, we know that they receive security votes. Because I try to be to balance my thought, does it mean that the curbing of insecurity as well could also affect the security vote? So most probably some of the governors might want to see some level of insecurity, because if definitely they are able to put these insecurity issues, arrest this insecurity, their security vote might stop coming. Because you need to have insecurity to have a security vote.
Absolutely, because they are all corrupt. they have immersed themselves in corruption and can't do anything straight, can never be truthful or honest in anything they do. So they have to create the unrest, they have to create the insecurity, they have to create the mayhem in order for them to thrive.
So it's not just all about it's not all about being interested in curbing security, because definitely if they have the interest of securing the eastern region, considering the influence of Nnamdi Kanu in the eastern region, they would have worked extremely hard to make sure he's released, to also assist them in doing this job of securing the land.
Absolutely.
The separatist leader that is being held, Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, is let out today, and some of these things we are witnessing may die down. And I want to ask, sir, I know that in time past you have been very vocal about the release of that young man. We may not know what you and your sister governors may be doing today to secure his release. Can we know, sir? My name is David Eleki. I work for this day newspaper. I'm also the managing editor of the Result newspaper. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I think it's a very nice question and goes to the heart of it. But let me just say a few things. Yes, you are right. I have been at the forefront of the call for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. And part of the reason why I fervently call for his release, and even requested that worst case scenario, that I was even prepared to keep him here at the government house. Give him to me, I will keep him here, and whenever he is required, I present him. And part of my logic was that we really need to sit down, even with him, to interrogate this whole agitation, because an idea not examined is not worth it. That we really need to have a conversation even with him, but that's a separate conversation on itself. But then come down to the people saying that under the separatist Nnamdi Kanu himself, both Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB, the organization that he led and still leads, they have made several statements, issued countless releases, dissociating themselves from the sit at home, from the kidnap for ransom, from the criminality that is ongoing. The truth of the matter is that criminals have now emerged, hordes of them, organized, still using the name. So I'm not quite even sure if he comes out and says, oh, stop, whether they would, because they have tested blood and they will probably not stop hunting. They have tested what it means. They go for kidnapping and they're making millions. And so they discover that. Imagine someone who was driving an Okada rider, and they recruit him and he goes into the bush. All his life driving Okada, he has never been able to hold 100,000 naira intact at once. And now he goes into the bush and joins one gang, and they do a successful kidnap for ransom and they collect millions. He gets $1 million or $2 million. Tomorrow you want him to tomorrow you come out, in fact the person who tells him to stop is the enemy. Are you getting what I'm saying? So the matter is a lot more complicated now. It's taking a life of its own. Criminality has taken a life of its own. It's lucrative business now. All of them talking about agitation, and so on. It's just using that as a cover to gain, and this is the point I made a moment ago, to get the acquiescence or the sympathy of the ordinary person who is not informed. Because they present themselves as the liberators. Liberators, you are liberating, you are staying in the bush. How do you feed? How do you feed from month to month, from year to year? They are just criminals. And then they add to it idolatry. Every camp, everywhere they are, the very first thing they put there is a massive shrine. It's a massive shrine. In a state that is supposedly 98% Christian, you now have the resurgence of these shrines all over. Is building shrines all over the place part of the agitation? No. It's part of the agitation, arming everybody with amulets and everywhere, all their body, and they go out shooting ordinary people. Is it part of the agitation? It's part of the agitation, and the question must be asked. If anybody claims that part of why he's doing that is for agitation, when you finish killing the people you're agitating for, whom are you going to govern? Or if you turn the homeland to be desolate and everybody runs away from the homeland, how? So we must separate the two things clearly, and in my mind I have a clear separation of the two. Because Nnamdi Kanu himself has made a statement. I visited him in detention and he said the same thing to me. So I'm not quoting anybody, I'm saying he told me he doesn't support the sit at home and doesn't support the criminality that is going on by these people. And they have come out time and time again, dissociated themselves from that. There was one in Finland spewing all manner of hate and inciting people to get onto this. IPOB has also dissociated itself from that one as well, and his autopilot. And now, but you see, these guys are, I'm sure there will be maybe another 10 or 15 such other groups making money. It's what it is, lucrative criminality. Lucrative criminality. It has nothing to do with any agitation or liberating anybody from anything. They're just searching for their pockets, period. And we must get them out of our land.